Hello and welcome to IT Nation Connect 2025. I'm Jessica Jacobs, Senior Director of Product Support at ConnectWise.
And I'm Reese Crosby, Partner Development Executive at ConnectWise. Welcome back.
Welcome, and we have some special guests with us today. Mari-Frances, our Chief Customer Officer at ConnectWise, welcome.
Thank you.
And we also have Haley Carter. She is a CEO of Essentia IT, so welcome.
Thank you.
All the way from the UK.
All the way.
Well, we are happy to have you guys here today. We're going to focus a little bit on partner experience and what that looks like. So, Mary, if you could tell us, can you define partner experience in the context of ConnectWise and the broader IT channel?
Sure. I think when I think about partner experience, the first thing that comes to mind is like building trust and confidence in ConnectWise, and it's not just about smiles or answering the phone. And I think it's really about simplifying, making complex things simplified. I think our ASIO platform is a great example of that. And really, when we think here at ConnectWise, we're not successful unless our partners are successful. So everything we do is really centered around that, hey, how do we make our partners' lives easier so they can go focus on what matters the most?
Haley, how do you guys define that within your company?
So I have been a ConnectWise partner for a number of years across a couple of businesses, and one thing I will say is that I wouldn't be here and I wouldn't own my own business if it wasn't for the ConnectWise and IT Nation partnerships. That support system and exactly what you say, it's not just about smiling faces, it's genuinely about a desire and a care to want to see your business grow. When I decided to start my own business, it was ConnectWise leadership that I already had known, and my ConnectWise account manager, who have been my biggest champions, and they gave me the confidence that I didn't have otherwise. So amazing, yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah.
Why has partner experience become such a critical differentiator in our ecosystem?
Yeah, I mean, what Haley just said made my heart sing. Because I think it's really not just about a tool, it's about building trust in the relationship. And to your point earlier, we're not successful unless we're delivering successful outcomes to our partners, right? And as we continue to do that, that's what builds trust and confidence. And here at ConnectWise, we take it seriously when we think about the relationship with our customers. Regardless of your role at ConnectWise, everyone's focus is on the partner and ensuring that they're driving success and we're delivering the outcomes that our partners expect.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
So I know, Haley, we met yesterday. We were hanging out in the cabana and just happenstance that you were actually going to be on the show with us this morning. So it was really nice hanging out with you in the afternoon. And
Thank you.
we noticed, we were talking about this last night, that you were a huge evangelist for ConnectWise. You were talking to other partners that were hanging out in the cabana. I think there was a couple partners from Ohio, one from Brazil, another gentleman, I think, from Alabama. So it was really nice to have you there and interacting with the partners and kind of putting the word out there as far as what ConnectWise is doing from a partner experience standpoint. So appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
All right, so Mari-Frances, question for you. So how do you see partner experience relating to tangible outcomes for our partners?
Yeah, I mean, when we succeed together, that is just the ultimate prize when we're talking to our partners. And I think even this year's product advancements, when we're talking about expanding RMM patching or RPA automation, right? It's all in service of simplifying things for our partners. And again, it just goes back to if our partners aren't successful, we are not successful. So it's really important to understand what our partners' outcomes are. And that at every interaction, we're saying, hey, are we delivering on your expectations? And if there's a gap, let us help you cover that distance to the gap, whether it's education, whether it's engaging with our product team, whether it's engaging with our partner success managers or your sales team. It's really a concerted effort to make sure that it's not just about engaging or picking up the phone or smiling or just answering support tickets. It's more than that. It's delivering a holistic experience that delivers business outcomes to our partners.
Excellent, yeah. And Haley, what do you see as far as like an ROI on partner experience?
Well, so I launched my business mid-September, and that's what, like six or so weeks into starting a new business. I wouldn't be able to be here if I didn't have the right tools and the right automation and systems that I know everything's processing while I'm away. Plus also it's been so easy to go to ConnectWise, set my expectations, and build everything out in my own image as my own employer now. And yeah, just being able to leverage those tools means I'm allowed to take time away from the business. I do quite a bit of volunteering in schools in the UK for getting more girls into tech. And you know, that's quite rare for a business owner. So it makes a huge difference when you have the right tools, huge.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. So, Mari-Frances, what's the biggest misconception about delivering a great partner experience?
Yeah,
What are some of those hurdles that we see?
Yeah, I think it's not just about answering the phone when someone calls. It's actually, of course, you have to answer the phone when someone calls or when someone sends an email, but I think it goes beyond that. It's really about listening to partners and hearing where we're succeeding and where we may have some opportunities for growth. And I think this year at IT Nation, we're hearing about all of our product advancements, whether it's with RMM or ASIO or what's coming in PSA. We have so many exciting things coming, and it all ties directly back to feedback that we're hearing for our partners on what they want to see in our product. And you know, when we think about success, right? Again, I talked about business outcomes, but what you just said, if I can give Haley back more time where she can go volunteer, right, and do what I think is incredible work. I mean, more girls in tech, yes, please. We can give her more time back in the day to go do that because we've simplified your workflow. I think that is a massive success. And when I look at our partners, we hope to simplify, right, so that again, our partners can go back and do the work that matters most.
Awesome. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think building the relationship with our partners and our customers is the most important thing we can do. We have to understand their business and what's going to make their lives easier. Mm-hmm. They're running their business for their livelihood. So what are some things that ConnectWise and our products can do to benefit that and to help with that? So I think that's really spot on.
Yeah, and I think we were talking with Manny yesterday. He said he's starting to get emails and calls from partners saying, hey, we're starting to get more engagement, which is really positive with some of the changes you guys announced yesterday. So
yeah. So going along with that, partner experience doesn't just happen, right? It is something that's built. So how are we embedding this mindset across ConnectWise?
Yeah, and I think we at ConnectWise, I think I said it a little bit earlier, but regardless of your role, your responsibility is to our partner. And that is something that we have integrated, and it starts at the top with Manny and our ELT team, and it goes to every level of our organization, putting our partners at the center of all that we do. And again, it's really around simplifying process. So where are there ways where we can make our internal processes and infrastructure more simple so that we can get answers faster to our partners? Or for example, where is there technology or tools that we can invest in to answer support tickets faster or more accurately, right? We wake up every day thinking about, hey, where can we make the interactions with ConnectWise simple? And that's just internally, not to mention, again, the product, right? We continue to think about, we need our product and all of our advancements center around making our partners' lives easier and simplifying their business, again, so that they can go back and focus on, right, like driving simplicity within their own business, driving profitability, and being able to really make a big impact in their communities.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a key takeaway here is culture and technology work together to make a great partner experience. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're here. That's what we're here for.
So how do we balance that standardization for scale and personalization?
Yeah, I think it really, you think about standardization creates fundamentally reliability, right? And I think when anyone thinks about reliability, it's the first thing they think about in a vendor partner, right? And then reliability creates stability in their business, and those two things intertwined. I think, regardless of who your end customers are, if you're an MSP or you're in IT, you want to simplify things, right, for your customers. And I think one thing that I think about often is, it's a buzzword everyone's heard, it's like AI, right? But I think the great thing when you think about AI, and we at ConnectWise, how we're thinking about it, ASIO is a perfect example, right? Is we're going to integrate AI into this platform, right? And what do you get with a platform? You get data standardization. Mm-hmm. And as you start to think about where are there ways to simplify, you can integrate different ways of using AI, agentic, RPA, when you have this great standard foundation for data. And again, it goes back to, let's simplify things. Let's start to align ourselves in this idea of a platform. And the reason that we're doing that is because we believe strongly that the benefits for our partners are massive, right? And as we continue to grow and evolve, and today there's going to be some exciting product announcements. I don't want to steal David's thunder today, but as you hear what they are, you'll start to connect. Hey, I understand, right? Like Mary talked about simplification, right? I understand, and I see now through what's happening in our product that ConnectWise is helping folks get there. Yeah.
Haley, anything you want to add there?
One thing I would say is that business is hard enough as it is. The last thing that you need is your vendors and your partnerships to be difficult. It makes a huge difference when your partnerships are happy and cohesive. They shouldn't be working against your business. They should be helping you grow your business. And I feel like that's exactly what you get with the ConnectWise ecosystem and the staffing, because you don't just get an account manager who's there to upsell and cross-sell. You get an account manager who's there to make sure you're using your MDF funding, that you're using the right tools, and that you have the right touch points and contacts, and the partner success team, who are quite literally there to make sure that as a partner you're achieving success with all of these products. Having ASIO and having everything within, I mentioned the ecosystem, is crucial for the way we've structured our business. Essentially, if it's not in the ecosystem, I don't really entertain it, because I don't have the capacity or the time to have 15 touch points at the end of the month just to figure out what products my clients have and where to pull that data from, because it's so important. You can't run a business without data. So it's huge, and I think if you really lean into it, you get so much more out of the entire experience.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome, yeah. So you had mentioned AI and ASIO. Mm-hmm. How do you think technology is elevating that partner experience?
Yeah, that's a great question. I spend a good chunk of my time every week talking to partners, and in this event in particular, I get to talk to hundreds of partners over the course of 2 days, and there are some themes that I hear often, right? It's about productivity, it's about simplification, it's about driving profitability, and really helping simplify business across. And when you think about the unification today, when we're talking about like the unification of security, BCDR, and automation, right, all on ASIO, it means that partners no longer have to worry about tool sprawl and data gaps. We talked a little bit about that, right? And so this idea that now you have all your data in one platform, you're not having to go into different screens to do different things, it allows us to deliver less manual work, right? I was talking to a partner the other day, and with the use of RMM, he's been able to save, roughly 25 hours in addition to utilizing RPA. And he said it's made an absolute game changer in his business. Because his technicians now are able to actually service more customers, right? And so when you think about innovation, I think it's always, in the way that we think about it here at ConnectWise, is it's an ongoing series, right? There's no silver bullet. This one thing is going to change, right, our business, and it's going to be the silver bullet, right? But it's this idea of continuing to evolve and think about different ways to simplify. Again, we spend all of our time listening to what our partners want. I was really excited here to see today, we have here at IT Nation, we actually gave all of our partners these little chips, right?
Yeah.
And they're able to vote on the next thing to put on our roadmap. So there's 6 different ideas. And our partners are able to vote on what they think is most important, and we're going to take that idea and we're going to slot it into the roadmap, right? I think it's a little bit of a fun manifestation of a visual way of saying like we are listening, right? And I think if you talk to anyone within ConnectWise, we also spend a lot of time talking to customers because again, we want to make sure that the products we're building are solving a need for our partners.
Really good point. Yeah. So, say 2 to 3 years down the road, what does the ideal partner experience look like?
Oh yeah, gosh.
Forward thinking.
Forward thinking, no, I love this. I think it is a world where we move away from reactive to proactive. Utilizing tools and technology to help us be smart and more intelligent about maybe problems before they arise. Right? When I think about some of the exciting things that we're doing with our own product, we're testing internally, we're thinking about how do we get the answers in the hands of our partners faster and more accurately, and then how do we evolve to a point where our data is telling us that there might be a challenge or an issue, and we actually solve it proactively for our partners so they're not having to call us. And so we're taking that kind of same thinking and applying it to how do we evolve our product to a state where we can do some of the things, like that with our partners. So like think about a day where, let's say a printer goes offline, right? We can have an agent solve and identify and diagnose that without a human being involved, right? And then we can take these technicians and focus them on the really big, hairy, sticky challenges that we have. So all of a sudden, right, you're driving productivity, and your technicians of our partners, right, they're being able to actually cover more landscape and more tickets, just with the advancement of some of the technology from ConnectWise that's coming their way.
Yeah.
Definitely. For me, I think with the client experience, so as an MSP, you have to remember that you're a ConnectWise client and you have your own clients. So initially thinking about what services you want to give to them and what you want to have them receive. For me, I think one thing that's going to come out of the next couple of years is visibility, a lot of transparency. I think when you have so much going on in the background and so much automation and you're really leaning on each other for that respective growth, everyone wants to know where they're up to. The world's moving fast, you need to know straight away. And you're already starting to see that in ConnectWise with the end user portal and how much information is being added to that, with each roadmap release, and all new integrations into BrightGauge. You're able to really pull that data, and it's not just your client's data, it's your data as well. So I think you have to picture what you want to give to your clients and make sure that you're getting the same in return. And if you're not, that's where the team comes into it. And I think everyone's been really good about making sure that every company grows at the moment, and that you are leaning into the right things. Peter said it yesterday that the curve jumps, and that's what your partner team is for, your account manager. Have you heard about these new products, or we're working on these? And you stay up to date with the roadmaps so that you can grow your business. But I'm sure you guys have stuff in the works that no one even knows about. But being able to vote on the 6 options for what comes next, it's huge. It's transparency that maybe hasn't been there before, but I think it's very well received now.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I mean, innovation is about anticipating needs and then being able to solve for those, which will create a better partner experience overall. So I think that's what the message is we're hearing here. So.
Yeah, and Mary, you hit on the point where using automation and our tools to help our customers get a better and faster response, I want to make sure we do take the, because we get all the time like, oh, that's going to take away my job, or, the automation and AI are going to, take away partner experience roles that we have.
Right.
But the truth is, and you kind of hit on this too, is that it's a tool that we can use to leverage the customer experience.
Absolutely.
It allows us to create the relationship with the customer and build that instead of working, a server down that could be automated. So it's just shifting the type of work that we're doing.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So for our partners watching today, what is one thing you would encourage them to focus on to increase and strengthen their customer experience?
Oh, this is easy. Start by listening. I think the best partnerships start with understanding the outcomes and what your customers want. And then the second step to that, it's not just about listening and nodding your head. It's about taking those insights and creating actionable initiatives to make sure that you're addressing what your partners want and end customers. And I think, and making sure that it's an active feedback loop and there's a constant opportunity to listen and act on feedback with all of your customers. Yep.
Yeah. Haley, what would you say is the one thing you would encourage?
Yeah, I would echo similar things. I think one thing that possibly happens when people aren't having the best partner experience is that they're too busy, you're rescheduling all your meetings, you're not taking time to speak with your account manager, you're not aware of the roadmap or like bug fixes or anything. If you're taking the time to be a good client, as I kind of touched on a bit earlier, think about your clients. If you can't pin someone down for a meeting to review their product stack and their offerings, are you giving your vendors the same opportunity? And if you're not, then you can't judge them if you're not leaning into it and allowing them to help you succeed.
Yeah.
So.
And the one thing I would add too is the way that we think about it at ConnectWise is if we have the opportunity and the pleasure to interact with a partner, we have to make sure that they're walking away from that conversation with something of value, right? Like a new nugget of knowledge. Did we tell them, talk about how to utilize best practices around the products they have? Making sure that when you're engaging with a partner or customer, that it's of value to them, right? I know as I would say a recipient of some vendors, time is precious for all of us. And when someone calls me to say, I'm calling to check in, that's not super valuable for me. And it's not super valuable with partners, right? Like we think about being intentional. Hey, I wanted to call you because I stumbled upon some great data around best practices, or I wanted to talk to you about some of what your peers are doing. Just making sure that every single interaction is of value to your customer.
Yeah.
I think
impactful engagement.
Yeah,
Right.
and the one thing that I find really interesting is how many people have been ConnectWise partners for years, but with the addition to GlassHive into everything and the partner program, how we talk about Evolve and we talk about the roadmaps and your account management team, but the partner program, the tools, the MDF funding, and the resources that you get from the ConnectWise partner program, again, have been huge to me starting my business. So if you're not leveraging those, make sure that you're aware of what's available to you. GlassHive is amazing. And I'm not a marketer by any means. You've got contracts on there, you've got social media stuff, you've graphical email campaigns. It's, you have to allow people to help you, and the partner program is a great way to do that. So I recommend it if you aren't involved.
I really appreciate that. Being on the partner program myself, I'm a huge evangelist for it, so thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Haley and I were actually just talking before we started about the event, and I asked her how it's going, and we were talking about really one of the most valuable things here, and this is just one example, is the community here. and understanding how are other people doing it. Do you have a template for that? What didn't work, right? And I think, of course, this is a large event and it's a perfect opportunity. But if you look across the ConnectWise ecosystem, we try to provide as many opportunities for our partners to connect with each other, whether that's through webinars and live Q&A, smaller local events, right? Our Evolve groups, right? That we try, again, when we think about us as a vendor, we think about we're here to support you. And part of that goes beyond just the tools and the products and services we sell, but it's about bringing together a community to make sure that folks are lifting each other up to drive success across the community.
The community is huge, and as I've started my business, you know how you don't want to just grab a client for the sake of revenue. You want to be able to pick the right clients and grow at the speed that you want. So in order to scale my business the way I want to, we joined Evolve. We joined Evolve straight away. They were kind of like, Haley, you've been in business for 2 days. Why do you want to join Evolve? And I was just, everyone that I speak to, and I think everyone that you guys probably speak to, says they wish they would have found out about Evolve sooner because of how much of an impact it had. So and I did know about Evolve, so when I started, I was like, hi guys, can I join? I don't have any data or any clients, but please let me in. And that has been gigantic for my business because while we've been scaling, we've actually been working with some other Evolve partners who have, they're overcommitted and under capacity. Most people have like a 3-month notice period nowadays. So although they've hired 3 people that don't start for 3 months, we're helping them with their technical project implementation. And they're also switching their verticals and going for more enterprise clients in different industries. And so they are looking to refer those clients to us. These people should be your competitors. These people should be hiding secrets from each other. But starting my business, the community and the people in the community have sent me copies of their contracts, have sent me clients, have just been so open, and it's all for the sake of growing this industry. And everyone has the same goal, which is enjoy IT, be successful. This is the way to do it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love that.
I love that too. Like, I think you really hit spot on. Like, building the community is so important, and coming to IT Nation and these events really allows us to do that. And it allows us at ConnectWise to get to know our customers on a one-on-one basis. And it's just so much more than doing a phone call and getting that experience. And Evolve is such a great way for our partners to meet together, to build together, to learn from each other. So really great that you're able to do that.
If you don't compare yourselves to other MSPs, how do you know how you're performing against others in the industry? So
Absolutely.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say a key takeaway today is customer experience doesn't have to be that difficult. There are 3 things that you can really focus on: listen, act, and deliver on what's most important to them. So thank you guys for joining us today. This was a great panel.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. Thanks for joining.
Enjoy the rest of the conference.
I will.